And then obviously sannyas also, there is action. And there is also desire. Srila Prabhupada says we cannot escape from desire. So anyone who tries to, like Mayavadis, as mentioned in this verse, if someone tries to cut the desire and even attain Sayuja Mukti, go to Brahman, but then there is Patanti Adha, that is because then becoming desireless is not the pure state of consciousness, but purifying our desires is the appropriate state of consciousness. So I take blessings and permission from Mali Pandito that I speak. Yes. So, so that is why karma yoga is very relevant for a practicing devotee, at least accepting and understanding it very thoroughly. And obviously, Nishkam Karma Yoga with Bhakti is called Buddhi Yoga, which is the, as we discussed, it's a platform where we can practice not just this lifetime, maybe many lifetimes too. It's a very appropriate platform. Great devotees like Vitrasu, they are practicing on that platform. They are obviously pure devotees, but then there is karma and then there is yoga. Yoga is connecting or linking consciousness with Lord. So we can link our consciousness with Lord in 4 ways. Again, to karma, that is action. We all have responsibilities based on different varnas and ashramas. We have responsibilities. So we may do it with a desire to enjoy foods. We may do those responsibilities with a very neutral way, and we may do those duties with the intent to please Krishna, as mentioned in that Samsiddhi Havitoshnam. Similarly, knowledge, which is jnana. Uh, we all like to study. We may like to study the Vedic literature with intent to desire to enjoy. Like one may read Karma Kand section, which Krishna again speaks in chapter 2. Not like get very much into flowery words of the Karma Kand section. Don't get too much entangled by it. So you may read literature with a desire. You may read literature just to get knowledge, and then you may read literature to please Krishna, to know more about Krishna and how I can connect better with Krishna. Then there's meditation, which means thinking of Him deeply, thinking of Lord deeply. And then there is bhakti, which is love. So in Sakama Karma Yoga, we all know this, but I'm just repeating it for my own purification. So Sakama Karma Yoga, we wish to enjoy fruits of activities, and there is clear-cut attachment to enjoying the results. That is the key thing in Sakama Karma Yoga. Whereas in Nishkam Karma Yoga, we perform our duties very sincerely, without being attached to results. Whatever results whatever results come, we are neutral. And responsibility is accompanied by detachment. There is some sense of mental renunciation. So I took many of these points from SBS Gaurang Darshan Prabhu's class on Bhagavad Prabha and and also, Bhagavad Prabha, Gita Prabha. And then there's one more class of Gita lectures too. So I took many of these points from him. That in Nishkam Karma Yoga, in Buddhi Yoga, you do duty, but there is renunciation at the mental level. So how does Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2 especially speaks about Sakam Karma Yoga from verses 31 to 37. So one of Arjuna's argument was, it seems like a lose-lose situation for me to fight this battle, because first of all, I may get sin. Why should I get sin? Because I am going to be responsible for killing so many people. So I am going to get sin. Another thing is, if I'm going to be in this battle and I'll kill so many people, even if I die, what will happen? Even if I win the battle, what will happen? I may become a king. But where is the subjects? Where are the subjects to rule over? Most of my dear relatives whom I would like to enjoy the kingdom with will be dead. So Arjuna speaks in a lose-lose situation. Even if I win, even if I lose, what will happen? Even if I win, I'm a loser. And if I lose, I'm going to die. And then obviously Krishna speaks about the science of soul. So Krishna very beautifully converts the lose-lose situation to a win-win situation with help of Sakam Karma Yoga. So Krishna tells to Arjuna that first of all, getting an opportunity to render service is very rare. So don't lose this opportunity. Like, we all have a very special opportunity to render service. It's very rare. In the context of Battle of Kurukshetra, it was not a regular war to get some kingdom or like that. It was, Krishna officially mentioned, it's a dharmic war. So it's a war not meant for fulfilling one's own desires. It's a war with a much higher cause. And Krishna says such opportunities are rare. Don't lose this opportunity. Now, if someone does not have skill, one may not take it up. But you have skill also. So if you do not engage in your duty, then it is sinful. And how he converts it into win-win situation is, if you win, you enjoy the kingdom. If you lose, you go to Swargaloka, because this is a dharmic war, it's not a regular war. And if you do not fight, on the other hand, you also have skill, you will get sin. And also, most importantly, you get infamy, akirti. And infamy for a Kshatriya is very inappropriate. And criticism also. So Arjuna says, maybe better, with a mood of compassion, he says, maybe let me not execute this battle, but I don't want this kingdom. Let me become a mendicant or a renunciant. So Krishna rebukes Arjuna, saying that you may have, even if you have a good intent, others will not understand. So actions are visible, intentions are invisible. So that's why actions need to be exemplary. So even if your actions are intentions are pure and actions are not appropriate, most people will obviously misunderstand you and they will do criticism. Yeah. So this is how Krishna, in these verses, he converts to a win-win situation. And I did like some more philosophical speculation and added some points here. I was just thinking, even like sometimes when we do outreach and speak with people who may be in extremely distressed scenario, we often encourage them to do prescribed duties. So just like Krishna tells to Arjuna, encourage them to do prescribed duties, not like speak it in a more like a win-win relation, win-win situation that is favorable for them. And then gradually they get connected to devotees. So so we also quote verses like akamo sarvakamo moksha kamo davidi divena bhakti yogena yajita purusham param. That is, see, anyways you connect to Krishna, you're only going to get benefited. So so in the beginning time, when we meet new people, we speak in win-win situation. We may even like encourage the furtive mentality, just like Krishna says, in a way. That way they get connected. But then Krishna cuts also Arjuna in the same verse. Later on, it comes in verse 42 and 43. But don't get too much bogged down with furtive mentality. Then that Ya Pushpitam, that verse comes, that don't get too much involved in the Karmakand section of Vedas, which is going too much into furtive mentality. And then gradually we try to bring them to Nishkam Karma Yoga setup. So, and the very speciality is, if someone gets connected to a devotee, even if they have desires, Krishna fulfills the desires of those devotees. So Krishna says, Matta sorry, what is it? Savasya chaham vidhi sannavishtu matta smriti vijnanam apohanam cha. So Krishna acts like in a matta smriti vijnanam apohanam cha with regular people, but when someone is connected to a devotee of the Lord, like how Dhruva Maharaj got connected to Suniti, then Narad Muni, then Krishna will fulfill desires of those devotees in such a way that we don't desire them anymore. So this is verses regarding the Sakam Karma Yoga. I was going to speak more on Nishkam Karma Yoga. And then in Nishkam Karma Yoga begins with the verse 38. The Sukhe Dukhe Same Kyutva Labo Labo Jayo Jayo Tato Yuddhaya Yujjasva Naivam Papam Avapsasi. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin. And Prabhupada very clearly says Nishkam Karma Yoga with Bhakti, that is keeping Krishna in center, is called as Buddhi Yoga. So Gauranga Prabhu, he was mentioning that if we do not keep neutrality, if we do not maintain neutrality in the worldly situations, how can we connect to the spiritual situation? How can we connect to spiritual realm? So somehow gradually bring some kind of neutrality has to come in our dealings in the worldly scenarios, where the attachment to enjoying the foods reduces. And as Grace Bhujan Prabhu in the Surrender Unto Me book, he speaks more elaborately. He says that Nishkam Karma Yoga can be maybe performed at two levels. So one, it may be performed at the level of jnana, that where there is just detachment and the interest is more of neutrality. So every time, anytime we get attached to results, we know we get every time we get elated with when the foods are in favor of us, we become very elated, and when the foods don't come the way we want, there is depression. So someone on the platform of jnana, science of soul, or if not only jnana, but also just to maintain neutrality, just to be sober, may start practicing Nishkam Karma Yoga because they may be fed up of this often ups and downs. So Nishkam Karma Yoga uh, at the level of jnana is considered certainly very nice, but Bhujanpo says that but one who performs this transcendental knowledge, one who does Nishkam Karma Yoga with the transcendental knowledge of Krishna, however, they possess superior knowledge. For he knows not only that he is not the body, but he is the eternal servant of Krishna. Such a person also performs Nishkam Karma Yoga and receives no reactions for his work because he offers the fruits of his work to Krishna. Both levels of Nishkam Karma Yogis are free from reaction. So, one very important thing about Nishkam Karma Yoga is that one gradually gets, one does not get sin. So, Arjuna had one of his arguments for was that I will get sin for killing people. So, Krishna is telling that when you perform Nishkam Karma Yoga, you can gradually like transcend from sin. So now, but again, as mentioned, Nishkam Karma Yoga can be at two levels. So first thing is Nishkam Karma Yogis get free from reaction because they practice detachment in knowledge. But the Nishkam Karma Yogi who aspires for Krishna's loving service is far superior. He may not yet be on the level of transcendental devotional service, but his activities will one day lead him to Krishna's lotus feet. On the other hand, the Nishkam Karma Yogi who knows only that he is not his body may, if he desires Brahmavad liberation, gradually attains mukti. Or if his transcendental knowledge increases due to the association with Vaishnavas, he may elevate his desire and attain to Krishna's service. Srila Prabhupada states Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or gain, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna is transcendental consciousness. Although Krishna is directly instructing Arjuna to fight only for the sake of fighting in this verse, Srila Prabhupada hints that Arjuna's fighting will ultimately be impelled by his desire to fulfill Krishna's order. The difference between detached work performed in knowledge and bhakti is in the consciousness with which activities are performed. The activities themselves are not the determining factor. Then, in connection to this verse,
What are the two kinds of Nishkam?
one is at the platform of jnana and another is at the platform of bhakti. So, the platform at jnana is like someone who may be Brahmavad, whose end goal is Sayujya Mukti. For them also, Nishkam Karma Yoga, they also practice Nishkam Karma Yoga. Like, and that way they can avoid getting reactions and then gradually get liberated. So this is one speciality, at least I mean I heard from Prabhu also, Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, that you don't get sin if you perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. And Buddhi Yoga, which is Nishkam Karma Yoga with Bhakti, like doing everything with an intent to serve Krishna, connecting the yoga part, which is somehow linking our consciousness to Krishna, then that is takes us closer to Krishna. And Nishkam Karma Yoga is also a very special platform because, as mentioned by Bhujan Prabhu, uh, it is easy for them if somehow they get like it is at the end it's a yoga ladder, so they are going in the yoga system. So it becomes easy for them to become a bhakta also. Just like Sattvagun is a platform, it's like a runway to bhakti yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga is like already you need Sattvagun to practice Nishkam Karma Yoga. It is even a platform higher in a way. Then there is this verse comes much later, but it's very relevant. Is the very famous verse Karmanye Vyadikavaste Ma Phalesu Kadachana Ma Karma Phalahetu Brahmate Sangastu Karmani. So Karmanye Vadikavaste, we have the right to perform our duties. So we all have, like in that verse, based on Varna Ashrama, we all have our duties, prescribed duties, and by mercy or devotees, we all get service also. So we all have spiritual duties also. Next is Ma Phalesu Kadachana. you do not have any control over results, fruits. And ma karma phale hetu means don't consider yourself the cause of the fruits. So one may ask, how can we say we are not the cause? We are not the cause. What is being mentioned is that we are not the only cause. So later on, I believe it is in chapter 15, where the five causes for five different causes which who give the results are explained. 18th chapter. Oh, thank you, bro. 18th chapter. So there are five causes, and in that one of them is only us. His Grace Radheshampu, he speaks. I mean, he tells this in many lectures, but I heard recently only he was giving this class. Like, say a farmer, if the farmer is there and he is getting nice crop from his farm, and he says it is because of me that this crops have come, but can the farmer really say that? There is, like, who gave the sunlight? So sunlight is needed, that is from Krishna. The ground, that is again from Mother Earth. The fertility in the soil, maybe worms are contributing, and so many other factors. And so all that we are doing, and the water, rain comes from the divine arrangement. So the only action that farmer is taking responsibility is to ensure sowing the seeds and protecting the plants, and by ensuring watering and there's no worms attacking. So the point that is being shared here is that in I mean, even when we think from services point of view also, there's always so many devotees involved for making a service successful. So if we so our credit is always small. So it is helpful to know that we are not the only cause of the results, and not take all the credit. But then if we get so little credit, say in Radheshampu, he's first telling, oh, we get only five, we are only 5%, we are responsible for out of 100%, how much are we responsible? Okay, maybe only 5%. With so little credit, then one may think, "Arey, why should I work? There is not much incentive. With only 5%, why should I do so? But then Krishna says, Mate Sangasta Kamani. No, you cannot abandon your duties because that is sinful. So, so that was one part. So coming to the yoga part, which is the yoga part, every time we link our activities or knowledge or meditation to Krishna, that becomes yoga. And Krishna says, Neha Bhikvanasho Asti, all of us know that any action performed in the context of yoga, there is no diminution. And there is an example of Ajamil, who did some, what do you say, maybe may have advanced a bit in yoga ladder, but then unfortunately, with help of a devotee, he named his son Narayana, and that helped him from not going to Yamaloka. So examples are given where even little bit is done, and then they get benefited. They have at least saved so that they can go ahead. But then next verse, Krishna also says that if you really want success in spiritual practice, you need determination. We cannot do without determination. And Krishna says, there's that verse, Vyavasayatmika buddhi. And Prabhupada says, a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika intelligence. So determination is very much needed. One pointed intelligence, determination is needed. And what are the deterrents to that determination? That later on verse comes in, I believe, 44 or so. Bhoga Ishvaya Prasaktanam verse comes, where the obstacles for one pointed determination is, obstacles for inattentive practitioner is Bhoga and Aishwarya, that is desire to enjoy, uh, too much fruitive mentality, or greed to accumulate and opulence. So even to some degree, so in that context, I was hearing in the lecture that sometimes we hear, after hearing like even 10th offenses, right, to not have complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. So sometimes it may happen that even if we hear a lot of philosophy, still maybe that much determination is not coming. We may feel internally with both humility and maybe there may be some truth. Then Prabhuji was mentioning that if we feel we are not that determined enough, we should check ourselves. Are we running behind enjoyment or opulence or position or power, like that. So he told that we should check that because it is clearly mentioned in the Bhoga Ishvaya Prasaktanam verse. And in this context, very amazing example comes of Bharat Maharaj, where Bharat Maharaj, we know that he got the kingdom, but he goes and begs Lord Ramchandra to come. And he comes, begs Lord Ramchandra to come back, and finally brings the Padukas of Lord Ramchandra. And he places the Padukas on the throne, and he is very attentively serving the kingdom, as being responsible for the kingdom, but he's reporting to Ramchandra. I heard in some lectures that actually it seems the GDP when Bharat Maharaj ruled Ayodhya, it grew many fold, like 2, 3, or 10 times fold, because Bharat Maharaj was really a very able administrator. He would not spend more than what is needed. So he was really good as an administrator. But typically, what happens? Any position comes, generally any position will be there. It gives facilities, so there may be the name recognition may be there, some opportunity to enjoy will be there. But so that is like, what do you say, the safe giving thing. I mean, that is the positive part, I mean, from an enjoying perspective. But then along with it comes so many responsibilities, the responsibilities which can be very, very taxing. But if a person is furtive, he thinks at least these are there, what do you say, the good part is there, right? You get fame, you have power, you can enjoy. But in case of Bharat Maharaj, he only took the responsibility part. He was not taking the part of the, what do you say, the the enjoyment of position, prestige. Rather, many times people were still criticizing for many years that he is responsible for going to Lord Ramchandra. So that is a devotee. Uh, they're not like very, very less concerned with the enjoyment part aspect of it. Okay, I think, yeah, I think that is all I have. Prabhu. Yes. So yeah. So this was like in context to today's was just gave some brief overview of Nishkam Karma. Any comments for this? Comments. Yes, please.
You were talking about the lose situation, and everyone is always making that cost benefit analysis. If I do this, what's it going to cost me, and how much benefit am I going to get? Everyone's always doing that, and but in the material activities, everything is lose lose, even if it seems like gain in the beginning. There's no gain in material activities. It's all loss. That everything in Krishna consciousness is win, is a great victory, and and if I can, any, like you get 5% credit because, and it's a fact. We do we can't, we don't work alone. We don't cook an offering alone. We depend on all kinds of things and all kinds of devotees and to do everything. But if you get any little percent of credit that you get from Krishna is wonderful. If you get the tiniest bit of recognition by Krishna, that's everything. And at one point, in relationship to that is that in, Krishna magnifies the service. Like you do a little service, and like with your kids, if you do a little something to help out your wife or you go, oh, it's such a big service. Thank you very much. They maybe brought you something, or, little thing, but Krishna is like that. He magnifies our service. He considers any little service to be big.
Thank you. Thank you for those points, Fuji. Very beautiful points. You.
Prabhu, what you are sharing, I remember that his holiness Chandramani Sai Maharaj said that
material enjoyment is like that you never give up and you never feel tired, never become tired also. Means, sorry, you never give up and you never win also.
Well, also.
Like that only. But it goes on anchoring. Yeah. Some pleasure is there, some pleasure is there. And you work on, and you never win also. In the last breath, still the same desire carried to another life. Like that only. But spiritual, like Prabhu told that, and if you do little thing,
Little bit.
then Krishna will recognize that.
Hmm.
So when you recognize and he will connect with some devotees. Like you get a story of told to Dhruv Maharaj. Like he saw the desire of Dhruv Maharaj, and therefore he connected with to the Narada Muni. So therefore, actually, it's so much important that even if a devotee is lacking something, you just come in front of the Lord and just pray to the Lord. Please help me in situation, and the Lord will hear that prayer. So I was discussing with devotees that how Bhakti Yoga, like Brahman effulgence, is like there is no connection with the Lord. And the Paramatma is localized. Paramatma is like you have to do so much things. For Bhakti, you do not require anything. Just come in front of God and pray. It's called Bhakti. So simple, and there is but not required much thing. And Krishna recognize that. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. You can add also. After.
For ISKCON Karma Yoga in, I think, intelligence, first for intelligence, or Brahman platform, right? That in the knowledge platform. So how we don't get sin for that? Because if it is done for bhakti, it is understood that we are doing for Krishna. But for when we are doing it for what?
Yeah.
That first part.
Yeah, I also need maybe more Shastic reference for that. But Prabhuji, how is it that Nishkam Karma Yoga in Gyan platform not gets in? But somehow they should. I do not have the Shastic reference for that, but I can say that the fact that they are getting liberated means they are certainly overcoming reactions, and they're coming out of the cycle of law and crimes.
They are not on the platform of anchoring and lamentation.
Basically that, yeah. Brahmabhuta Pasannatmana Sochite.
Detach work.
Yeah.
Like so they do the work, but they don't expect any result. But it's not devotional service.
No,
Also.
no, it is not devotional.
So like
they are not.
Many series of at least you do something like this. That I cannot able to do bhakti. Can you do something? In this way, we start doing it.
Yeah. At the end, it is authorized by Krishna, so there is some sanction, connection to Krishna at the end. It's a yoga ladder.
And from Sakam Karma Yoga, is it so? How the progression happens? Like from Sakam Karma Yoga, you go to Nishkam, and then from Nishkam to Bhakti Yoga. From Sakam Karma Yoga mixed with Bhakti, also then you can directly go to. So
yeah.
Or we have to go for
I think Prabhupada always focuses on Bhakti Yoga. So Sakam with Bhakti is fine.
Because in our situation,
yeah.
it is mostly Sakam, it's not Nishkam.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. It's an advanced platform.
From Sakam Karma Yoga, can we directly go to like it's like karma is bhakti, correct?
Yeah, it's like
so, Nishkam Karma Yoga is like you work, but you give all your earnings to God.
Yeah.
But
it's like Vitvasu is also doing Nishkam Buddhi Yoga. Like he knows he's going to lose the battle, but still he'll fight. He's given the task. Bhishma is also doing the task. I think in our situation,
we are
working
with some
with intent.
desire.
Yes.
It is Sakam.
But the Karma Mishra will also get purified after some time. You want to add? Yes.
So, if we see Prabhupada's purpose, Prabhupada never mentions this word Sakama
Sakam.
Karmi or Nishkama Karmi. So, there are two approaches. One is yoga ladder, another is Bhakti
Yoga.
So, if you follow the elevator process, but still you have desires, it is called Sakama Bhakta and Nishkama Bhakta. That is what Prabhupada uses the word Sakama Bhakta, Nishkama Bhakta. And the yoga ladder is Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and then Bhakti Yoga. So this is how we work out. One is the elevator process, another is the staircase process. So
Prabhupada in none of his purpose quotations anywhere uses Sakama Karma Yoga. He uses Sakama Bhakta, Nishkama Bhakta.
Hmm.
And the database self-using. So,
Actually, this right, because that's what is even Shiva Swami writes in his book. So he writes that, because all these parts, they are eventually, in our case, because as a devotees, we have, these becomes elements of that. So we are, we are devotees, so we don't, these are those people who do Vritrasana, I'm a Vritrasana, so, or any other people, for instance, they do as such, Niskam Karma Yoga on the Buddhi level platform. So they're not doing devotion as such, but we are doing devotion. So in we are, so ours is as he rightly pointed out. So we don't follow that ladder. So we are, but these those who follow, they are even they are apparently they are elements of bhakti yoga. So karma yoga is an element of bhakti yoga.
Hmm.
So we are actually devotees. So that's why, and that's why we call it the Daivi Varnashram. Even our Varnashram is also not
Daivi.
that according to the what the Karmilya Varnashram. So we are devotees, and we gradually are purifying. And then now in one sense, then if you are talking about this one, so that 2.47 that was which we
Karmanyavadika.
so that one, so that is actually the Karma definition in one sense we talk about. In that one, as you've been said, that in that when we talk about Sakama Yoga, so that means they are not fully following that one, because this is Sakama Karma Yoga. So that means they are not fully following that 2.47, because that Karma Nivadika, Ma Falishukadasan, that Ma Falishukadasan, they are not following in that sense. So if you are talking about the Sakama means the results they are enjoying the results. And that means whereas sorry, Maflish. That means they want to still enjoy. They are not detached with the results. They are attached with the results, and they want to enjoy the results. Okay. So that means in that case, what you know, Sakama Karma Yoga, in there, so they are attached. They want to enjoy the results, and they are attached to the results.
Attached to enjoying the results.
So and then in the Nishkama Karma Yoga, as you spoke, as per the question he was asking, that one on the Jnana platform. So in the Jnana platforms, they may not be doing this kind of activities, but they are following Krishna's teachings, like Karma Nivadika, all four principles of the Karma Yoga, and they are just doing that. So in there is no there is no God concept, like for God I am sure. So that means they are following all the four principles of the Karma Yoga. That's why, and since Krishna has said those who follow these principles, eventually they will get that way, as you mentioned, that eventually they get liberated, or they get elevated, not liberated but at least elevated. And that means they are not, sorry, let me take a step back. You said that they will not be incurring any sin if they are attached to the results, if they enjoy the results. So that means they will be eventually, because whenever any fruits are there, if you enjoy that means then you will incur
The reaction for that.
reaction. So it's not a sense, but I think maybe the one will be the reaction. Probably
What?
the reaction to it. Because some people might do good work and they might enjoy the results. But if they do bad work, then they might have a bad reaction. This is how I take it.
Yes,
I don't know.
I mean, what I see after this division, that verse 21 to 27 is Karma Kanda. Then Karma Yoga, that is how they say. This Sakama concept is I have not seen in any proper commentary on it. But some ISKCON devotees, they started using, and now it has become a common word. But even Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, they say it's from his commentary. When Bhakti Shastri, we were seeing the translation, we never found exact Sakama Karma Yoga mentioned by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also. It was introduced once in 1990, and now it become a common word in his country.
So then so even 2.47 is also
Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means no attachment to results.
No, but in 2147 there is no attachment to the results. Krishna
Yes.
says that.
Yes, that is Karma Yoga.
Okay, and then
Before is Karma Kanda.
No,
But in Karma Yoga also there is that before Sukhe Dukkhe Samayakitva, there Prabhupada is, Krishna is speaking that, na? Like lose-lose situation to win-win. If you win also, you win the kingdom. If you lose also, you go to
That
Svargaloka.
is Karma Kanda.
How
No,
is that?
You are clearly right. That is
But that is
Karma
not
Kanda.
27, that
Actually,
is 37. That is happening in 30,
can you-
34, 35 or
Can you
something.
show that verse once?
I can show.
No, so the Prabhu, then what is then if up to 27, then sorry, if up to 47, what is it? That 47.
This is probably 47 is Karmanyavadi Kavaste.
That's what. So up to 47, then is 47 the according to what you described?
Is Karma Yoga.
Karma. Then what is Niskam Karma?
I told you where is there is Karma Yoga means Nishkama. There is no separate Nishkama Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means giving the results of your activity to the Supreme Lord. There is no enjoyment concept.
I had a question that
There is Sakama Bhakta, the devote. This is one staircase, this is elevator. There is Sakama Bhakta, Nishkama Bhakta. Because we have taken the elevator but we are still struggling. So that is Sakama Bhakta, Nishkama Bhakta. It Prabhupada clearly says that many lectures.
Okay.
And this is Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga.
Okay, so then you are saying Karma Yoga means actually Nishkam Karma.
Karma Yoga means what devotees nowadays use as Nishkama Karma Yoga. If Krishna doesn't say anywhere in third chapter is Karma Yoga. Third chapter is Karma Yoga, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna never mentions there anywhere about Sakama.
if it is Sakam, how it can be yoga? Because yoga is
It's not
Correct,
yoga.
exactly.
It's not yoga.
It's actually defeating, no?
Defeating. So many acharyas,
Defeating.
I have seen their commentaries and we discussed also this word. Even Dacha Prabhupada did not use, Baldev Vidyabhushan did not use. ISKCON someone started using to explain a particular concept, but then it became a common concept.
Yeah.
So that is what I understood, but I don't know.
I had that question.
Great devotees have commented, so I don't want to this. But if I follow Srila Prabhupada's, he never uses these terms. And because yoga means there is no concept of Sakama.
Correct. No, it's good. That's good. So that means linking to the God. You are right. Actually, it makes at least it sounds logical. Exactly. We are not saying that. No, I know. Like this ladder has been very long time. Like whoever has started that bhakti shastri long time, they had created this. But actually, this is very interesting. Now you saying so then. There is no Nishkam Karma anywhere which is sure.
I have not seen.
I also.
Prabhupada said Sakama Bhakta, Nishkama Bhakta because we have taken the elevator, but still desires are there. Like demigods are Sakama Bhaktas.
You're right.
Prabhupada said, not Sakama Karma Yogis. So
There is one verse.
So many purports Prabhupada uses Sakama Bhaktas. They are Sakama Bhakta. I mean, they are doing devotion but asking something from Krishna in return. These are Sakama Bhaktas. They are not completely purified. Many purports with Dadichi Muni's purports it will come, Vittasura purports will come. Many other cases also, in many conversations, Prabhupada said they are Sakama Bhaktas. They are devotees but they have some material desires. That's why they are approaching.
Actually, I think maybe Bhujan Prabhu, because I think in Bhujan Prabhu also uses in 9th chapter that one verse. No? But what? Everything like whatever you do.
So at least Bhujan Prabhu and Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, they clearly mention Sakam Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga. They at least clearly mention.
Yeah.
Prabhupada explained. And
but I think his argument is also correct. Now, if you karma means actually that means like if there is a karma, that means if it is a desire, then it cannot be linked into what.
I mean, yeah, maybe like as Prabhu mentioned, Sakam Karma Yoga is like Sakam Bhakta. Yeah. Or if there is, or if this like this is like you can see this Prabhu. This is from verses 31 to 37. You said Karma Kand is till 27. So what is this section then? 31 to 37.
I have to see that.
Yeah, no, I think he might have said like 27, but it could be up to 47 because 47 is the one verse like.
Because 38. Okay.
And in Bhakti,
No, there is.
In Bhakti there is Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Karma Mishra Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti and Keval Bhakti. This is the Bhakti thing. This is how 9th chapter and other chapters will say. So these are two different platforms. Yeah, you can say Sakama Karma Yoga is Karma Mishra Bhakti. That can be told in one way. But this platform, no Acharya, actually I have not seen them using this chronology. But I think this Sakama Bhakti is used by devotees as Sakama Karma Yoga or Karma Mishra Bhakti, or in different jargons are used to convey the same thing. But Prabhupada does mention Karma Mishra Bhakti in many purports of Bhagavatam. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti, and Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti, and then Kevala Bhakti. So they say.
No, I think what you said, like if that is true, then that means you see now. Think about it, like Sakama Karma. That means it's self-repeating. This is if karma is there. That means
yoga means just connection to Krishna. That's what. But yeah.
But then how as he's saying that, how that like Sakama is
I even once heard from Govindpur's lecture. I mean, it is he was giving. I mean, there was a different direction of the same thing, same karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti. I mean, what do you say, dhyana yoga and all. He was telling that devotees do all of this when they are rendering services. I mean, it is told it is karma yoga. When devotees are reading scriptures, it is jnana yoga. So, and like when the devotees are like chanting the holy name or meditation, like, I mean, he was trying to say that you don't need to even what to say make strong
So
like
exactly,
demarcations, because the bhakta is actually doing all of this.
That is Shivram Swami says. Shivram Swami says that all these are parts of
Elements
bhakti.
bhakti only.
This is what it is.
Yeah, that is another way of viewing it. One views yoga ladder, another way, and another ways.
Yeah, but I think this one, no, I think since he brought this point, like that is it's a good one, because if it is enjoying there, if it is a karma is there, then how can it be like linked to God? So that does that mean that we can link even the desires, like the desire based works also we can link to God.
Psychology.
We can do that. No?
Oh, that is
That is Sakama.
That is a Sakama
Bhakti.
That is but then Sakama Karma Yoga. That is what we are trying to do. Sakama, that means we are attached to the results. Like.
So devotees, what I understood when this word Sakama Karma Yoga is nothing but Sakama Bhakti or Karma Mishra Bhakti. So this one word, different places they use the different terms.
Yeah, it means
different
this.
words salad.
No, then actually, then those who are, uh, correct, yeah, correct. Those who are not, that means those who are not doing any devotional service, not doing anything for the God, but if they have attachment to the results, like sorry, if they're not attached, if they are, if they're enjoying,
Attached to enjoying the results.
that means they're karma kanda.
Correct.
So that means they fall into the, even though they might be doing the other three parts, like they are not like what karma nivartas. That means they are doing their duties.
So why Nishkam Karma Yoga is Karma Yoga? That is also they are not connecting to God and they are on knowledge platform. So why it is yoga?
But then same will be jnana yoga also, na? The Gyan platform is just
In Nishkama Karma Yoga platform, one doesn't understand that this is Supreme Personality of Godhead like this. It is a stepping stone. So it's a method for the greater ultimate. That's it later. No? So in Karma Yoga platform, people do it just as a matter of duty, not being 18th chapter again summarizes this, that not being attached to the work and not being attached to the results of the work. Both the things. You are not attached to the work, not attached to the results. But that doesn't mean you have a motivation goal. You have motivation, but you are not attached to the work. That means the work is karma yoga. That is karma yoga. Not attached to the work, not attached to the results. Of the work also. So that is not karma kanda.
no, that cannot be.
So that is what like so he's saying. So like, what you are asking, that nishkama karma on the jnana level or a jnana level. So it's a karma you're asking, even though there may not be like actual or like God consciousness like directly. That means doing for the God, but he's doing on the level. At least he's following the four elements part. It's not very clear at karma yoga platform who is God, what is his relationship, but there is some kind of example of karma yoga. So many people are there, na? They just do not attach to the work or results. They are just doing because they want to help others. They just want to do. Yeah.
Social.
So when you see, they wake up early in the morning, they do all kinds of things. They are care, okay, no problem. Like so many.
And they're not wanting name fame also after that. कि मुझे public view में होना चाहिए. I should be in public view. People should see So many people they do, like farmers also. See, take
Hmm.
But there is
example
no
of the
element
farmers.
of yoga, devotion in that.
But no, they are following the one ashram system given
That is
by
given
Lord,
by
and
Lord,
they are
no?
not attached to the deity. There is some element of worshipping Vishnu or giving the results to him.
No,
Then
there is no
if that comes, then
giving
it becomes
results.
then it becomes bhakti.
Okay,
There is
so
no
what
element of
Acharya
yoga.
again write, I'll tell you the exact purpose. What they write is there is no clear understanding of Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead in Karma Yoga platform.
Then it is still
Yeah, still.
Kanda. Why it is yoga?
Oh, it is Karma Kanda means they are doing to for elevation to a heavenly planet. They are doing with those motivations.
It is certainly more sublime than karma
Yeah,
kanda.
it is sublime, but
Motivation is different. Their motivation is name, fame, prestige, going to higher planet. Imagine a farmer. Take a simple farmer. What he does? Is he having any all these things? Take Indian any farmer.
Nee, and also in Karma Kanda, what happens? There is no enjoy. There is enjoying propensity, and like he doesn't follow the four elements. Among the four elements, like one of the principles he may not be following, or all the four may be present. That Karmaneva Krima Kalishvara Krima Karma Karma Kriyati. So that in Karma Kanda, this like some of the elements or maybe all of the elements may not be followed, but he'll be able.
What is
Whereas in Karma, in Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga, he is following all those four, but may not attach to like to the God devotion. Yeah. But since he's following the principles which are laid down by the God, okay, so that's why it is.
See, here no God is there. 2.47 there is no God coming. If you see the translation, there is no God coming. But it is a stepping stone. It is a method that is given. Like one ashram also people follow. Ultimately they do sacrifice to Vishnu. But that is not pure bhakti. That is not bhakti actually. That is some faint understanding. It is not clear. It's mostly on duty platform. You don't know doing on duty platform. It's like
Yes, that's good. That's a good.
that
That's
is,
a right.
you can see there is no God in
Duty platform.
this one coming. Yeah. But Prabhupada gives us bhakti purpose for all the things. So therefore
Correct.
we should always see from the bhakti point of view, not always.
Duty. So I think your example of Rudrasura doesn't fall into the Jnana.
Yeah, it is Nishkam Bhakta.
Yeah, it is not. It's not on the Jnana matter because he knows about God. He knew very well that okay, he was actually God conscious.
Yeah.
So it is not Nishkama Karma on the Jnana platform. Not.
Actually, what I said, Puri, it is like Buddhi Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga plus Bhakti is called as Buddhi
So
Yoga.
the second
That is
one,
a
second one. No, he's talking about the Nishkam Karma on the
Brahmavad.
no, you said
Gyan platform. That is not, that is not
the second
Vidyasara.
aspect you said Bhakti platform. So on the Bhakti platform, Nishkam Karma, then I think Rudrasura example may fit.
In the
Prabhupada
Bhakti.
writes in Vittashram, it's in Nishkama Bhakta, and the
Nishkama.
demigods are Sakama Bhakta.
Yes,
Prabhupada clearly
yes.
writes that.
Yeah.
But this one, what Prabhuji was saying, Jnana Yoga is like this Brahmavadis and all, they are not attached to the duties and all, but they are practicing this, merging into Brahman. They are only practicing dry renunciation, dry Jnana, cultivating of dry Jnana.
what is difference between Dhyana Yoga and Jnana Yoga?
Okay, in Jnana Yoga, you understand that, okay, I am not the body, I am soul. You do Sankhya Yoga is actually Jnana Yoga. People get into Sankhya. In Dhyana Yoga, you
Ashtanga.
engage in the process, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. Then, end of Dhyana Yoga, you get Samadhi. And from that, on whom you meditate, then you come to either Bhakti Yoga or you can go to impersonal.
Now there is also there is so Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So it depends. So it is if it is impersonal, then you go to impersonal. If it is on the Paramatma, then you go to the Paramatma.
Then you go.
And if it is goes to Bhagwan, then it does. So whatever after that, whatever dhyana he does it.
There are only two. Brahman, from Paramatma which you either go to impersonal, fall down, or you go to Bhakti.
But here in
Prabhupada
one of the purpose.
So what about the Paramatma?
Paramatma helps you to, once you realize Paramatma,
Then
that's
you
when
go to the next one.
Bhakti.
Yeah.
But there can be some misconception because of this. They will see that the Paramatma is nothing but production from the Brahman. Then you become Mayavadi. So this is the two junctions that happen. This is what actually Prabhupada doesn't discuss all these things, which is good for us. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, they discusses all these things in their commentaries because they talk about the Vedic style versus So Prabhupada says, even if after that all you know in one lecture, he says, what is the use? All these things. I am giving you direct bhakti, understand?
So dhyana has actual, because if in the earlier days people used to do dhyana a lot, like they used to dhyana is mostly on the middle part where they actually try to
Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam, if you see most of the people are
dhyana is actually you put those elements into practice by doing some austerities.
Duma.
Deeper austerity. Jnana, there is also austerity because you're following these four things, and you're being like detached from all those.
detached and giving up. But actually, if you see Bhagavatam,
Even the word also.
All of the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, they may not be directly linked to those. They are just on path.
on the path.
It can be completely material.
It can become material if the ultimate aim is not reached.
Yeah.
Only at the Dhyana Yoga in the Samadhi yoga, that is the one where they'll decide the path.
Yeah.
This way or that
That's why
way.
in this proper Prabhupada is saying, na Aruva Krishna Padam. So even if you do all, but you don't get bhakti, then it's useless. You again come back. Yeah, in Bhagavatam also, Dhruva Maharaj, Shruti Maharaj, all how they give up
So
their
basically
bodies,
for-
Dhyana Yoga. And then they go to
For devotees, practicing devotees, there is no Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or any platform like.
But principles of karma yoga can certainly be applied in your life. No? Like, I mean,
While
like,
in the devotion.
yeah, because at the end when you're in this world, so it's about principles. When you're doing any action, you learn actions here, principles here.
actually Prabhupada only gives bhakti purpose for all this.
Yeah.
So actually from 7th chapter, after Dhyana Yoga, 7th chapter is Bhakti starts. And in Bhakti there are 4 kinds of people who come. Among the 3 are your Sakama Bhaktas. And the 4th one is Nishkama.
Nishtama.
What?
That Arthati Jigyasu.
So that is where Bhakti starts if you see the yoga ladder. Before that is Dhyana Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga 7th chapter. In Bhakti Yoga, first comes Sakama Bhaktas, Arthati Jigyasu. Then comes Nishkama Bhakta Jnana. But Nishkama Bhakta also has some elements of Mishra because it's not very clear. Some mischief things are there. Internally, Anarthas is struggling. Externally, is not having real. And then comes Kevala Bhakta. Yad Karosi, that is still some mixture is there. Whatever is there, I'm giving. We're not Kevala, platform pure love. Then comes pure love. Man Mana Bhava, Man Bhakto, Madhyati, Mam Namaskara. That is pure love. So if you see Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur tells that is the Paribhasha Sutra of the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, that's the main verse. Whereas Tattvik Acharyas, they say Sarva Dharman Parityajya is the main thing. Vishnu Chakravarti Sarva Dharman Parityajya, okay, but what is the action? Manmana Bhava Matmakta Madhyasi. So that's if the Bhagavad Gita can be said in one word, that's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That's what Rasik Acharyas say. So that is Kevala Bhakti. Other all is, even you do Sarva Dharman Parityajya, but that may not be on the Kevala. You are surrendering, but that surrender may not be complete surrender.
No, actually, Ramchandra says that. How do you do that? How do you surrender? You surrender means after what is the meaning of surrender? Surrender means you think about it. You you talk about it, that manmana bhagavana. That is what it is. So he merges like this. This is how he gives this. What is surrender? Surrender means actually think about it. You talk.
What is that Sharanagati? That's what the next manana.
You worship him. You offer it. That's what it is surrender. Surrender means this is what. Surrender means like what? It's not mental less. There are like activities associated with it.
That's why Prabhupada writes, the first 6 chapters speak of
Karma yoga.
Prabhupada writes this.
First six chapters are karma yoga.
Last Dhyana
Yeah.
Yoga, because it is only rules and regulations. So all these Dhyana yogis, they follow all these rules and regulations of the last 6 chapters. In the last 6 chapters also nowhere bhakti is there, if you see clearly. If you see from the words, Prabhupada purports he mentions. If you see the translations, nowhere bhakti
All
is there.
other Manmana, that is also last 6 chapters.
That is
That's the conclusion.
That is
Yeah,
after
conclusion.
till 18th chapter 54th verse. From 14th chapter is actually Dhyana. After that again he concludes. There Manmana Man Bhakta. Then what are the four ashram, what they should do, what are the qualities cultivated, so that even the Jnana yogis cultivate those qualities and do. And there it comes, the Bhakti Yoga does not have to cultivate quality. If one does Bhakti, one comes automatically. Prabhupada uses that word to explain that Jnana Yoga does cultivation without Krishna inside it. So therefore it is Jnana Yoga. Because they don't understand like that.
Anand Chaitanya Prabhu was telling that there are many of these verses. No? Yeah, it's like that you don't have any obligations. That no Navini Chavajam, that verse is there. Like all good qualities come. I think Adeshampa also addressed it in one of his classes. All of that to apply, there is expected a certain standard of bhakti is expected. After that only, then that like kind of gets implemented. Otherwise, then other things apply to us. That he was saying. Basically what he was trying to say is that like all the good qualities show up. There is expected to be when you practice a certain standard of bhakti, then those qualities show up. Otherwise, I think Radheshampuri said that it is encouraged that you try to cultivate it in like act enthusiastically like that. Basically you act in a way that you have those qualities, then gradually I think Prabhuji was quoting Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I do not know the verses.
He was quoting Haro Bhaktasya Kotomat Guna Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's purport.
Yeah.
That if you do devotional activities along with cultivation side to side,
Cultivation,
then
yeah.
it comes easily.
Yes. Cultivation. Yeah.
And Prabhupada also mentioned, yesterday we were hearing, actually 3 days back, Manman Chakra was praying in kitchen, telling all 26 qualities should be developed. Then you are a devotee, like this bro. Okay. One who comes to devotion has the first Krishna
Krishna.
But all the 26 qualities aren't developed. The
Yeah.
other 26, 5 also should be developed like that. But the process is, that's why we have this Vaishnava culture.
Yeah,
and
Vaishnava culture. Like Yama Niyama, we follow 4 regulative principles, morning program.
So that all
Same part of
helps in cultivating the
qualities.
With core devotion, when we do the Vaishnava etiquettes and cultures, the qualities automatically.
Very true.
That's why this etiquette and culture is the cultivation part, so called, that Acharya said.
Siddheshwar, you wanted to say something?
Just in some of the purpose, Prabhupada equates Buddhi Yoga with
Bhakti Yoga. He says Bhakti Yoga.
Prabhupada gives direct bhakti purpose. That's why if you have to see this yoga thing, that's a proper what you will do with all this. Buddhi Yoga means using intelligence and Krishna consciousness. In working Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada will say. That is correct only. All bhakti, like how Prabhupada connects everything directly to bhakti. But then Prabhupada also says first 6 chapters are karma yoga. And then if you want to understand, then other acharyas give. But in this age, if we go too much into that, you will miss the essence of bhakti. So Prabhupada, every purport anyone reads, you should feel inspired to do bhakti. So Prabhupada gives like that directly. You will see in top 6th chapter, if you see Dhyana Yoga, you will say you put your eyes should be more on the nose and in that position. Prabhupada say already because you cannot put your eye in, just do bhakti. On top something will be written, Prabhupada will say exactly opposite. There will be say Brahma Nirvana. You see Brahma Nirvana in 2.72. Nirvana means, it's very simple. Prabhupada will say going back to God. Direct he will say. So 2.72 na Esha Brahma conclusion. Esha Brahma Sthiti Partha Brahma Nirvanam Gacchati. Mayavadis dekho Brahma Nirvanam clearly it is. Prabhupada is going back to God. First khatam. So Prabhupada everything he gives ultimate. What is Brahma Nirvana? Ultimate Brahma Nirvana that. So Prabhupada gives the ultimate purpose in everything. Final essence he connects. So every verse of Bhagavad Gita you will see how Prabhupada will connect to the ultimate purpose, intermediate. Especially 6th chapter is a very wonderful chapter. You see other acharyas context, they will speak all of dhyana. Uddhav Gita also, if you see all these dhyana concepts are mentioned. Ashtanga Yoga, 6th chapter. But Prabhupada, everything he will connect with bhakti. And especially that verse, seeing this, there is this verse, both eyes focused on this tip of nose. Kushagrass, so many things are mentioned. Even this, now we are hearing Prabhupada class every Thursday. So Brahmachari, Gurukul, all those things are there. Prabhupada is saying, if we apply these processes now, even after constructing big temples and good facilities, we are not able to retain people. What wearing deer skin and pushing kusha grass. Forget all this, just take bath morning, attend Mangalavati chant, be engaged in Krishna consciousness, you can go back to God. You saw that? Last class Prabhupada explained after telling everything. All these processes are there, but then he will explain. You see other acharyas, they'll explain those Satyuga concepts only. Of brahmachari, of other things. Vanprastha, if you see Uddhav Gita or even Sanskrit, so much is there Vanprastha. Prabhupada say Vana means Vrindavan. We will change the whole concept. It is there for side you should have fire, top you should have blazing sunshine, winter you should dip yourself in water till here. Prabhupada said all those not required for this is that is for Satyuga. Go to Vrindavan or in ISKCON temple serve permanently, that is one person. Prabhupada will exactly top anything will be written down, Prabhupada will give something else. He wants to give the ultimate. Otherwise people will tell, see here also it is there, Prabhupada is saying, so let's sit and see what Prabhupada is saying now. That's how we were taught to understand the purpose in that.
No, he followed whatever technology he said. He was being outcast because of the water.
Subuddhi, right?
Mm.
So fell on him, then things, and then he asked all the brahmanas, what should I do? They said like, no, boil the
Hot ghee.
boil it like there's a more butter, and then like a ghee, and then you drink it. They said, I'll die. He goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so just chant. So that is what it is. We don't have to do anything. Simple. That's what Srila Prabhupada actually follows. Simply.
Kali Yuga very difficult to. I mean, most proper purpose you will see that in Bhagavatam also. Prabhupada just gives devotional understanding from the purpose. What we can understand as devotees from that verse. That is what Prabhupada's main motive is. Even Sandarbhas are many times very this thing. Details are there. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidya. But Prabhupada gives lessons.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Swami Bhaktavind ki jai.
I did not want to this Sakama this thing. But I know devotees use it is okay. Sakama Bhakta. Like Prabhupada
Never heard this argument. The first time I'm hearing.
Because no, I think this is Prabhupada never uses these words in his thing. And because I was taught by Prabhupada disciple, they say Prabhupada never uses this. Don't bring these new concepts. And
another place Prabhupada also said, if I have time, I want to give one more commentary on Bhagavad Gita also.
That is correct. But if you see in Vishnu Chakravarti, this word is not used. That's why we went and we saw the Sanskrit. We saw where is this show us. We read the Sanskrit.
We should speak this with Barangash and Tovar.
Yeah, we had other teachers who would tell this. That I told them it was introduced 1990.
No, I'm telling to hear their part of the arguments.
So they use see that words can be translated in different ways. No? So I told them